Okay, so you have seen the spirit of one Yosef Vitrick, deceased uncle of Ahuva, probably passed before she was even born, as she is not even reached 30 years of age.
Mm,
Excuse me.
yeah,
So
makes sense.
if the timeline works, perhaps she was the oldest brother of her young mother, or something like that. Or perhaps uncle is a term of endearment, where perhaps he was a great uncle of some type. Uh, as with every passing year, thankfully, the Holocaust fades back into annals of history, but of course should never be forgotten. The four of you are in the living room. You again see these CDs aligned, mostly Wagner music, some Beethoven and Bach, but of course the German composers are exceedingly high in number among as a percentage among the musical selection of here. There are boxes everywhere. Looks like some of the CDs are in a box. As you're walking uh, back towards the dining room, Shep, make me a spirit roll.
Sorry.
You have one of those visions that you are not unfamiliar with at this point. It happens often enough. You are
Mm.
in a classroom. You are in a well lit classroom with fluorescent lights on the ceiling. This classroom has, it looks like two rows of large tables, four on each side. One of them has been moved aside up against a door as if
Two
it's
rows of
four. Two rows of four tables. Each table has two chairs, although one of the tables has been pushed aside. What draws your attention immediately is what seems to be a pair of towers, a pair of Tesla coil looking apparati. Between the
Mm.
two, arcs of electricity, glowing light, almost like a disco ball reflection because the colors change and variegate, flash with a sort of unwholesome strumming kind of sensation, as if it's not something you can see, but you can feel it as well. You see what appear to be two professors, two males, attempting to force a student into the light that is refracting between these. I'll call them Tesla coils. They look like they're about maybe 4 feet tall each, but the arcs make light that is almost like a doorway. And you stop for a moment, and then the vision fades, and you're back in Heimglimmer's house at the base of a set of stairs, looking in at a cherry dining room table, oval in shape, with boxes upon it and comfortable stuffed chairs. What would you like to do?
um
Oh boy.
I will explain it to Ava what I just saw
Oh dear. Another
because
vision.
Greg did not hear half of it.
Okay.
Oh, a student being pushed into those giant two Tesla electrifying things, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the center between two of those,
Mm-hmm.
being forced into one of those in a very fluorescently lit room at first.
Okay.
Yeah. So someone was being forced to do something they didn't want to do. A student in particular.
Did the student look like it was older or younger? Or
Hard to say. You kind of saw him from the back.
okay. I mean, did I recognize, if not the place, the professors? I mean, did anything look familiar to me as far as like, oh, that's from Pine Box?
Hmm.
Roll a smarts roll.
I will Benny that.
Hmm.
There are windows on one side. One of the walls had windows. Um, it looked like a room not unlike dozens on campus, but
Okay.
some of what you recall on the marker boards, posters on the wall, would lend you to believe, like if you saw a periodic table of the elements poster on a wall,
Hmm.
you would not think it was an economics classroom.
Right.
If you saw strips of like historical, carvings and weaponry and clay tablets and things that would mean the development of civilization, Indian tribal mounds or something like that, you would not think it to be a mathematical classroom. This made you think that it was probably more related to a science classroom than anything else.
Okay, which makes sense that I would recognize parts of it
Yeah.
because they were in that building quite a bit.
Probably on the second or third
Yeah.
floor because the windows tend to be different on the first floor.
Okay.
Okay.
So you may have seen a familiar building from our campus.
Right.
Weird. Okay. Uh huh.
Yeah, you know what? For success for free, yes, it's somewhere on campus. There was an ETU banner or something like that
Okay.
All
on one of
right.
the walls.
I just
Interesting.
okay.
There's okay. So if we so your next vision has led us back to school, but Alva's uncle has led us to a basement.
Right.
This place, does this place have a basement?
Maybe
No,
through the garage? It's the only place we
possibly,
haven't checked.
possibly.
Maybe through the garage, you're right. But before we do that, I would like to MacGyver, I guess, a sturdier handle for not the pike that we have from the fireplace because that's tampering. But perhaps the one that Shep has, because I know that we're just kind of handling straight up iron, and that's probably not a great to grip on. Maybe we need
Oh,
something with a little more friction. I don't know if that would help make it a better weapon for you. To
Uh,
keep a grip on, sir.
okay.
yeah. Shep will hand over
Yeah. So what happens
the
is you go into the kitchen, which is unremarkable, other than the fact there is a hamburger city bag that like a hamburger and fries and a drink came in, crumbled up in a waste can, and the receipt shows it was last week that the receipt was printed. It's a
Mm,
very neat, modest kitchen, a gas oven, refrigerator, some shelves with plates and glasses and silverware, et cetera, et cetera. You do find some steak
mm.
knives. You do find some of those little ice picks with ivory handles, a matched set of four, which are quite nice. They're like in a little box with felt, a felt lining. Um, but
Ooh.
it's basically unremarkable. It leads to a laundry room, which is also
Mm.
unremarkable. It is very neat. There is a folding surface that could flip up or down where someone would fold clothes. There is a washer. There is a dryer.
Oh, okay. Dang.
There's
There
probably
was
an
more
empty
on the other
basket.
side, friends.
There's an empty basket. The room is clean, looks relatively unused. And finally, the garage. The garage has a red Volkswagen Beetle in it, even though it's a two-car garage. It has a lawnmower. It has various hooks on the wall, and upon them are hanging coils of uh, utility cords and stuff like that. And you also
Mm.
find a roll of tape that you would use to wrap the handle of like a mattock or an axe, something that you
Yeah.
would squeeze, something that one might use to wrap an aluminum baseball bat to give you better grip and maybe absorb a little bit of the sting, a little bit of the impact. But you find a
Yes.
bright yellow roll of, I'm going to call it, cushion tape. And you
Yes.
do see
This.
that a few of the implements that are hanging hither and yon have had their handles softened by this tape. And if you wish to affix that,
Perfect.
to a tire iron, you can consider that done.
Most definitely. Because I realize that those things probably don't feel so great to grip onto and whack things with,
Yeah,
especially if it's rusty. Let's not get
yeah. Now, in point of fact,
Yep.
though, you have cleared off most of the rust. You do have
uh,
you had the compound and the stiff wire brush to clean that off. But
true.
sure, this certainly makes it less likely to slip out of your hand. Say on I don't know, like on a critical fail,
Yeah.
as
I
if that
was
would ever
like,
happen.
might as well do the thing. So Ava will attempt to do that on Shep's tire iron thing. And you now have a grip.
Get a grip,
Why,
Shep.
thank you.
Get a grip.
And Shep, while she's doing that, Shep's just going to be like, Ava,
Yes.
whatever they offer in the science building, if they offer to give extra credit to go up to the upstairs, just say no. Because that did not look good. It did not look like a good thing. It did not look like it was worth extra credit.
Mm, I
And I'm
guess,
going to
but it's
just
extra credit.
I'll add a little extra factoid in here. That upstairs closet where you found the gold tooth, where you found the
Mhm.
hobnailed Nazi boots, there was also
Mhm.
a pink terry cloth robe hanging on one of the hangers. Probably smelled
Ooh.
vaguely of like rose milk lotion or a perfume or
I
something
bet
like
it
that.
was that Miss Chapman ladies.
Hey, it's the 90s. It could have been his. He might have liked his, bubble baths.
I mean, you're right.
Mhm.
But I don't know if a Nazi is going to be wearing rosy pink colors.
Not in public anyway.
Not in public.
Yeah,
Well, it was in the
you never
closet.
know.
You
Okay,
never know.
everybody can toss me a notice roll. I believe this is it. -2.
Heck yeah,
Alright.
mine's 4.
-4. -2 notice roll. Oh boy.
I will try one more
Yeah.
time.
Let a Hoover roll first.
Sophia. You got a -3.
I'm not even going to try again. I still got a
Are
2.
you even did you even notice where we went at that point?
Honestly, probably not.
Just stayed back and you're just like, ooh, look at that shiny, delightful thing on the table. Goodness
Let's
gracious.
just admit it. She's rubbing the table and going,
No, I'm not touching
"Yeah,
the
it was
table.
it was
Mm,
good that
mm-mm.
you died to make this."
Um, Ava,
It's like, ah.
you and a Hoover, almost simultaneously. Look at the
Mm.
curio cabinet, the china cabinet, and you say,
Oh,
almost in unison, there, behind that.
hey! Observation
You were
buddies.
next to it, and you sort of saw a slight protrusion out of the back of the wall. You were like looking at that narrow strip of open air behind the china cabinet and the wall, and you saw something bulging out that shouldn't be, about the size of a lock and about the height of a lock, like a deadbolt. She saw it by looking straight through the glass enclosure and said,
Oh boy.
"It
Ah,
has to be."
let's let's move it. Guys, guys, I think we found it.
Quickly, she said.
Where?
Quickly, she says, "Help me empty this out. It may
I will.
tip." So between
Floppy.
you grab, 6 plates or 6 saucers or 3 china coffee cups
Yes.
or a tea service. The silverware is quite heavy. You pull out a drawer and there's like silverware and stuff like that. It looks like somebody had started making notes about this, but in about 2 minutes time, you empty out the china closet of its contents, both above and below. Below were some of the more bulky items. There was probably a crystalline punch bowl and several
Ah,
cut crystal like the little they're not teacups, but they're like little
punch
little
cups.
punch cups. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
I
Ahuva
know exactly
moves.
what you're talking about.
Yeah, Ahuva moves slowly because she is somewhat unable to see clearly, but between the 3, 4 of you, you manage to empty out that china closet, get it down to just the item of furniture itself. And sure enough, it does look like it's been moved a couple of times
hmm hmm
because there is a slight groove worn in the hardwood floor. Some of
She's doing that. I wish to huddle with my friends and ask them, do you think that we should, let her in on the dark siding spell?
Shep will look and go, we really don't have time at the moment.
It lasts an hour, right?
She
Mhm.
seems to be struggling. Maybe she could use her flashlight in the basement a little better than up here. But I worry.
I do too. I just don't. I'm trying to remember how long it took to actually cast the ritual.
You, under 12 seconds.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't. It didn't take a while to.
You rolled very well.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't. What do you
We
think?
can.
She's shifting
Um.
the china closet, the china cabinet away from the wall, and she says, "Yes, it is a
Shep
door."
Shep looks at the nearest clock and tries to figure out how long we've actually have left for our part, and see if it
40,
would be a good.
Mm,
40 plus a d20 minutes. 50 minutes. You have 10 minutes remaining on your spell.
Okay,
okay.
so yeah, we probably should go ahead and redo it. If she will allow me, we can try to add her. We can do her as well.
Okay. Ova,
Can we touch your eyes?
Ava's gonna flop her little sleeve arm over at her to come here.
Ah, she flips the latch of
Wait,
the.
before we go in, please. We want you to be able to see as well as us in the darkness.
I am,
Sophia.
as you say, willing.
Good.
Okay.
I will dig through my bag
Hmm.
and pull out my honey bear and my
She says,
vial of gold.
she says, again, with the salt, with the honey. I am not hungry.
No,
It's
no, no.
not for
This
consumption, I
is
promise.
not about food. It's not a snack.
Okay.
Just
It is.
just
It is.
watch.
It is good for you.
Mhm.
Yes, it is.
The how
I
you
will
say the bees.
the bees. Yes. The bees are wonderful. They give us great honey. Without them, this could not be possible. As I hand it over to Shep, he will do this to us first, and then you could see how it's done, and then you could come up last.
Okay.
Cause
You
yeah,
you
Shep is
are
the fancy magic man.
well. I I saw my uncle Yosef, so I will not say what you say could not be done. What is the
Trust me.
phrase? You make believer out of me. Okay.
Good.
Dramatic task. How would you like to help, Shep, Ava? And Sophia, would you like to help? If so, tell me what skill and how you would like to apply it.
Uh, I will. Let's see here. Do 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 do. I give him the honey. I give him the gold vial, and I am going to try like I did last time with some good moral support, verbal moral support, persuasion. I think it was last time.
Awesome.
Yes.
Could I do the same?
You certainly can. Both use the same skill.
Cool. So roll a persuasion.
Yes, it's not opposed. A success for Sophia. A success
Yay.
for Ava. For some reason, Ahuva has a D8 in occult. So
Oh,
I'm going to say that
Nice.
she has been exposed to enough of the Egyptian sorcery, the ritualistic magic, the ancient carved stone tomb lids, the sarcophagi, um, ancient relics. That just by nature of the exposure, while not actually um, taken part in a ritual before, she has an occult
Mm.
skill, so she will attempt to help as well. And she rolls a 14,
Hey, wow.
wow.
which is a 4. An 8 would be 1 raise. A 12 would be 2 raises. You have a third and a fourth. That's 4 successes. Shep, all you need to do is to succeed, and you will have done this in 1 round.
Okay.
6 seconds. It can't be done.
Huzzah.
It can't be done any quicker than that. And you succeed.
Hey.
You succeed. You put a little bit of honey, a few drops on your fingertips, and carefully sprinkle enough, but not too much, of the flakes of Mir's, the real, the coin of his homeland, that you have carefully scraped into little flakes onto your fingers, and you quickly smear just a bit onto the eyelids of you and your companions. Ahuva says,
Mm.
"It is remarkable. I see you as clear as by a lamp.
Right? Isn't it great?
How you how you explain this?"
Magic.
She looks at you and
There's
Sophia, and she nods and she says, "Maybe it is magic. I have no explain."
yeah, neither do I. And we're people of science,
Mm.
What's
Mm-hmm.
science?
but it happens, and I believe it now, very much so. And I'm sure this will help us out now that we can see very clearly without having to light up any and stir up any kind of suspicions outside. Now, she moved.
She did.
Hmm. Friends, there's a door. Is there a lock?
There is a deadbolt on this side that is unbolted, that she flipped. And upon
Guys,
upon disabling the deadbolt, probably the door just like exhales a little bit, right? It sticks out just a little bit as it's no longer held secure by the deadbolt.
we'll creep it open. I will pull it over so that we can see inside.
Well, I would say it's a pitch black stairway going down, but well, since you can see in the dark, we'll just put up a map and an artist's conception. In fact, I will put up the artist's conception first. Share. Hope you can all see it. I've shared the Temple of
Ooh.
Osiris.
Something open, but it is still loading.
Okay.
Waiting.
Why are there toes?
Oh, oh, there's toes. I see it. Oh, wow. Look.
I have also shared a capture of some of the hieroglyphics, just by their nature that you see engraved. That along with the artist's concept art should
Mm.
provide you with kind of an idea of what you see.
Waiting for the Egyptian one to load
Mm,
up real quick.
okay.
But I see the art.
And that is you three. Hey, it happens to be three of you with a gula
Right.
opening the door and creeping down to the Osiris temple. And I will bring up the map of the Temple of Osiris.
Oh boy.
It should load quickly. It's just a small black and white map.
Yeah, that loaded up quick for me.
I'm going to add a map layer. As usual, I keep sort of a 5-foot square. Tell me on the fly. Size it to the
Oh,
grid.
I see the Egyptian stuff now.
There's
Okay.
what?
Whoa.
All sorts of Egyptian stuff. And I'm going to, let's see, I will close the second floor map. I will move your figures, your tokens, to the Temple of Osiris map. I'll just get you on the map, and then we'll put you on the steps as soon as I drag and drop everybody over.
Yeah. To the steps.
Having done that, I will close Dr. Heimglimmer's first floor. I will resize the map a bit. I'll move it up a little bit. Try to stretch it. I'd really like to be able to size it down a little bit, but that's okay. Is it? Oh, I can.
The temple.
All right. That should do. That should do. I'll move it up a little bit. No need to use the masking feature. Put you guys kind of like on the steps or upstairs.
Mm-hmm. Oh, goodness. A basement.
Chamber of Osiris. The stairs lead down into an extreme darkness. Your lights do not illuminate in their normal way, although you can see in the dark. Ahuva's flashlight, for example, casts a much dimmer glow, so much so that she just shrugs, turns it off, and stows it on her belt. This basement is circular. It is about 30 foot in diameter. You see images of Egyptian figures and writing and hieroglyphics accompanying them on the wall. The script is not familiar, but you've seen enough Byzantine and Sumerian text to recognize some of the scroll. There is a large pentagon, as indicated, in white chalk. It covers the center of the room.
Mm.
The chalk is very luminescent to your eyes, even in the darkness, almost as if it was done with like glitter glue or something like that.
Oh.
There is a tall man lying in the center of the pentagram. He appears to be asleep with his arms folded across his chest. He's wearing jeans and a dark polo shirt, but he is barefooted. There are 13 burned red candles that ring the pentagram, and as you would open the door and start it down, the 13 candles spring to life. I'm going to dismiss my concept art. I'm going to dismiss my handout of my Egyptian carvings. I'm going to bring up an an image of, what was I going to do? Okay.
Oh dear.
There is an altar on the opposite side of the stairs as you come down. Small rectangular table. It seems to hold several small metal statues, possibly gold, possibly bronze. There is also,
Oh.
you see, sharing an image. It might be a little large. It's a canoptic urn.
Ooh.
It's got the head of a bird. I think it might be Horus, one of the Egyptian deities. It is about this, a little bit taller than the statues. It looks like it
Wow.
might be a gallon. Maybe it might hold a gallon. And you know how these things work, right? You grab the head of the bird, you lift it up. It's like the handle. It's like the lid, and
Mm,
and
yeah.
and there might be something inside. Shep, this is similar, although not precisely exactly what you saw in your dream. I think the image that you saw had the head of a jackal. This has the head of a bird. Um, and these are on the altar across from you.
Oh. This is weird, guys. Is that over there on the table? Is that man's?
Oh, why is he here?
Guys, guys, we should probably get him, I don't know, away from the table somehow. I don't
What?
I don't
I
want
don't.
I don't
I
want
don't
this
want to touch
ritual.
that.
I don't want this ritual to go. He's still alive through this in the spirit world, I think. And that is
Throw
not
some salt
cool.
on him, or
I
or
will.
shoot him with the holy water. Something.
I will shoot the corpse with my super soaker.
I want to get to the bottom of the stairs here and see what else I see. There's these urns around, and you said they're as tall as the statues? Or they're
Yes,
under the
yeah,
statues?
they're next to this. The urn is next to the statues, and
Okay.
all of them are between 1 and 2 feet in height. Probably the canoptic urn is the tallest thing
Okay.
on the.
So,
I have this is not Heimglimmer. This is not
Ah,
Frank Mans. This is a man who is dead,
okay.
who is probably lived barely cleared 40 years of life. This man
mm,
this man appears to have lived a very hard 40 years, but it is not
mm,
Frank Mans. He is dressed in a polo shirt and a um, pair of like worn out jeans. He is barefooted.
mm,
I will
okay.
share a picture of what he would look like where he's standing, and you will see it is clearly not Mans.
Oh. Oh no. So, is there a way I can somehow uh like through just school knowledge, like academically learning from the history of Sumeria and Egypt, what kind of ritual this may be, pulling from just how academic Ava is. See if she can't deduct exactly what's happening here, and if messing with these urns could potentially disrupt it in any way.
Yes. Let me place him on the combat tracker so that I can put his corpse
Mhm, mhm.
on. Okay. Oh, you know what? I don't drag the image. I think I drag the little box that did it, and I will make him visible because obviously you can see him. Um, Show NPC, and then I can sort of just drag him and drop him right into the middle. He is laying flat on his back. His arms are crossed on his chest. There. Very nice.
Huzzah!
Very, very
Hello,
nice.
friend.
He lays there.
um, so would that be under research, or what would I, or smarts, or shall I roll for this?
I would say
Or sacrifice a Benny?
it's going to be a cult. Do you have a cult? Or
Ah,
if you
I
do not,
don't have a cold, but I think I could use Jack of all trades to
okay.
maybe glean occultism off of Shep
Uh, I
over our
don't have.
times together.
How long does that take to use that?
Let's
Uh,
see. Through
Chef's got
advanced.
ritualism. Mirrorhead occult.
Oh, I see. Then I don't know if he can. Let's see. Character makes a smarts roll as an action after observing or studying sub object. She gains a d4 in the relevant skill with success or a d6 with a raise. She may try again after an hour of study, trial, and effort or immersion if she fails or wants to try for a raise. This lasts until the character attempts to learn a different subject, whether she's successful or not. Okay, so maybe she'll take a minute to try and recall then to make the jack of all trades possible, since all she needs to do is observe and study it, because it doesn't give me a time frame. It's just look at it and study it for a hot minute.
Make your roll.
Okay, let's see. Yay!
Looks like a success.
So I will change, because I did it for ritualism earlier, so I'll change that out to be occult. And
Okay.
I will, I guess, roll that out now.
Okay, then we're going to make a let's see, Ahuva is going to make an occult roll as well. Okay, she got a 9.
A
How about Shep? Would you care to roll, or would you care to come down and look at it and roll?
Sure. Will ritualism work?
It will.
Okay. And I have lost my map. There it is.
occult.
Would you like to burn a Benny?
Sure.
Wow.
Okay, let me tell you everything that I know. those rolls, those rolls
Step
we're
up in
good.
here showing off his fancy ritualism skills.
This is a minor revenant. This minor revenant looks human from a distance, but it is obviously undead when you study it, as you have. Its skin is a bit pale.
Oh boy.
Um, Although its eyes are shut, you would imagine the irises are oversized. They are unusually large. As far as undead go, they are intelligent. They are a step above the classic zombie. Um, they are dominated by their creator. They follow orders. Um, this one appears to have been created from like a vagabond or a derelict, just from
Mm.
the manner that it is dressed. Um, Other more powerful undead slaves could be created. This is sort of the lowest tier of revenants.
Okay.
And judging, I'm going to throw in, as you have seen all of the hieroglyphics, you would imagine that the Egyptian god Osiris
Yeah.
was the deity who was invoked to create this manner of dead. You know that they are faster than zombies. They are quite agile, quite strong.
Damn it.
They have a bit of
Resident Evil
intelligence.
zombies.
They have they have a bit of intelligence, um, and their claws, their fingernails are razor sharp, and that is generally their main mode of combat.
Mm,
You know they're tough to put down.
oh boy.
Okay.
Boom! The door shuts upstairs, and you hear the lock turn. You hear the tumblers click.
Of course we
Oh
do.
no.
Of course we do. We're locked in, Shep.
You
We're
hear
locked
a
in.
voice fill the room. You have chosen death, mortals.
No.
All
Ah!
13 candles flare just a little bit brighter as the
Shoot
risen revenant,
candles.
the now risen revenant of Osiris, sits up at his waist and prepares to clamber up to his feet. We are in a combat. We should draw cards.
Oh boy.
Damn it.
Here it is.
Come on, Joker.
Okay, let's see. We'll begin a round.
Roll up.
Next,
Roll
next
up.
combatant menu. Getting it started is always the hardest. Cards, action cards, do effects, do. I think I just go to like the next round, and it should draw out the cards, and it does.
Oh
Oh,
no!
and we
Damn
have
it.
and we have a Joker. Oh, sadly, it's the risen revenant of Osiris.
Oh no!
That is too bad.
Yep.
Okay, the door has slammed shut. You heard the tumblers in the lock activate as it's been turned from the other side. The risen of Osiris, this revenant, awakens to defend this chamber.
Oh boy.
He stands up, using half of his movement to stand up. Would anyone like to burn a Benny to draw another card?
Not really. I'm on my last one.
Yeah, I would say,
I think I'm okay in the middle.
yeah, I would say you should probably stand pat, as he does have a Joker. So he gets a +2 to any of his actions, and he, yeah, could interrupt, but no, he is going to move forward and attack. 2, 3,
Oh,
4.
Sophia.
Well, not necessarily the closest. I'm just going to roll a d4, and it's going to go randomly.
Oh boy.
Sophia, Shep, Ava, and Ahuva. He rolls. No, I didn't want it to be aceable, but it is. I don't know what the original roll was. It's a 5, and that's not an option, so I'll roll it again and just see what it is. It's a 1, so it is Sophia.
Sophia, the vision.
Vision is coming
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. Sophia, if you would be so kind, snap yourself
Yeah.
to one of the squares on the grid,
Of
and
course.
I will do likewise for Ahuva.
I am in a square.
Okay. And Shep,
The square acceptable.
why don't we put you in a square as well, Shep?
Okay.
The 3 of us.
I'm not sure where a square is on the stairs, but
Yeah.
put me one
You know, there's one right between the ladies. Yes.
right there.
Yes.
That works.
He shambles forward. He's remarkably fast. And Shep, I'll put you there, as that is a square. Yeah, he's going to attack with his claws. I select you, and it should say, why doesn't it? Oh, you know why? I have to go to next combatant. I think it's that little button.
Bring up the actual list.
No? All right. Darn it. How do I select him? Who? Let's see. It's
It
round
doesn't
2.
let you go to the next combatant.
There's a little button with a flag, and I guess I could. Is this next round or next combatant? That is him.
There it is.
That is him.
There it is.
Woot. Thank you for your advice and your patience. And he is going to attack. He has selected no one. He selects. That's got Sophia. Let's see his skills, fighting, attributes. Click over to his sheet. Dismiss Heinglimmer. Dismiss. I think that's it. Oh, come on. I'm just trying to bring up the Revenant. Oh, it's so. And there's
The
the
Revenant
combat.
doesn't want to attack us.
It appears so. He attacks. He gets a 7. He has a Joker bonus of +2. He hits a 9. He hits Sophia with a raise.
The squishiest of us all.
Am I
That
not
is
squishy?
unfortunate. With his raise, I will add a d6 of damage, and his damage is only a d4, but it does get a +2. Double click, and it is a 3 plus a 1 plus a 4 is an 8. It could have been so much worse. Sophia, you are
It feels worse.
merely shaken. And let's see, is this where I get to play with the combat tracker and click and say, like, I accept this outcome?
I think that will just, if you click on the accepting next to Sophia, I think it automatically places that damage onto her.
Okay.
Without her having to do it manually.
Sophia, there's a group. How do I accept?
I will accept this damage.
Let me just make it a little wider. I think there's a way where I. Oh, there it is. You have to scroll down. Apply. Let's see if it works.
Yes. That's
apply.
The one.
That's the apply button. The first time I ever used it, I'm so excited. Sophia, you are shaken. It could have been far worse. You could attempt to I think you will unshake automatically on your turn. You will get a chance to roll.
Definitely, I will try
against that. And we will advance to the next combatant. I will go to Ahuva with her jack. Ahuva is currently carrying a gun. She thinks she can fire it without attracting any attention. She has a fireplace poker. Combatant Sig Sauer. I'm going to say on a 1 or a 2 she uses her gun, but on a d6, higher than a 2 means that she is going to take your advice. And that was a 6. So she is instead going to move in and attempt to hit it with the fireplace poker. She shrugs. If that's how it's going to be, then that's how it's going to be. And I'm going to bring up the items tab. I'm going to go to melee. I'm going to go to like light club. There's light club. I'm going to drag light club onto Ahuva's character sheet. It is what she is going to use. She moves forward. She crosses the chalk barrier. I'm going to make an agility check to see if she has, in a manner of speaking, broken the chalk outline, because she has a cold, and she knows that if she doesn't have to, she probably shouldn't. And she gets a 5 on her agility. So she manages to keep the chalk outline intact. It probably doesn't matter, but she doesn't know that. She selects the risen revenant of Osiris. It shows him as selected. I'm going to give her a gang up bonus of 1 because Shep is there. I'm not going to
Cool.
permit the shaken character to provide, but I always forget that gang up bonus. And since you are 4-on-1, I'm going to give it to her. Ahuva, wielding a fireplace poker, swings at the riven revenant of Osiris. And I know I dragged it, and where did it go? Why is it not on her character sheet? Darn it. Oh, you know why? It's because I dropped it on the risen revenant of Osiris. He doesn't need a poker, believe me. So instead, she will swing. She only gets a 2, and she misses. I will drop
No.
a Benny upon her light club, because these bennies work both ways. And this time she gets a 6, and that 6 meets or beats the revenant's toughness, which happens to be
Nice.
8. If his toughness is 8, then why? Oh, it's his parry is 6. His toughness is 8. She manages to hit, not with a raise, but instead she will try to do enough damage to get through its toughness. She rolls. She does a 6. It does not meet its toughness. It is unharmed. But she did strike it a solid blow nevertheless, and that adds to her feeling that she can contribute with this club. She may try to shoot next round. We are going to advance to the next combatant. That next combatant happens to be Ava. Ava, what would you like to do?
I will stay. Let's see. Well, firstly, with my own quick jack of all trades occultism, would I know that keeping him in or out of this pentagram circle, is it strengthening him, or will he become weaker outside of it, or broken, or if it's broken?
Make it a cult roll. An easy one. +1.
+1. Oh, that was not great. Can I Benny that?
I didn't see I didn't see your wild die, oddly.
Oh,
I didn't.
that's weird.
Why don't you drop a d6 and we'll see what that comes up? Because I did not see the wild die. Okay, it didn't matter. Yes, you may.
Uh,
Yes, you may bet that.
let's do that again. Is that still with a +1 or straight?
Yes. No, it is with a +1. For I am a kind and benevolent
Yay!
being. A 9.
Oh
All right.
no. You better go through. That was the good roll, gosh darn it.
You don't think that it strengthens or weakens him at all.
There it goes.
I saw that 9 come up.
There
You,
it is.
you don't believe that it strengthens or weakens him at all. However, it does limit his mobility to within the circle as long as it is intact. And in this particular case, it looks like that circle is big enough that it gives him access to all those little nooks and crannies should someone small and sneaky try to get around. But
Mm,
it doesn't really weaken him or strengthen him.
okay. But I know that it's what's keeping him in there, and he can't leave it.
Correct.
But it wouldn't really matter because he can reach us all around.
Also correct. He does have reach into the next square. And those claws look
Okay.
razor sharp.
All right. So I will move. Let's see. How many little movement squares do I have? I forget. I have a pace of 6.
Then you move 6 squares.
I will go to the other side where that rectangle is.
Okay.
Yeah, I can make it there. It's like
Sure can.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'll come over here. Uh, and I think I'd have to do it at a negative, right? If I wanted to shoot at him at this point.
No. No negative.
No? Oh,
I don't
okay.
think so. I mean, you moved. You didn't run. So I don't think you would take a multi-action penalty.
Okay. I will use my salty slingshot. Try to shoot at him from over here. It gives me a range of 4, 8, 16. So I'm assuming that I don't have to do anything.
Make me a quick occult roll.
What? An
A quick
occult roll?
an
Yeah, I
occult
did.
roll.
Let's see.
Oh, you got a you've got a 9. You guys have rolled really well when you were coming down the steps as well. You don't think salt particularly is effective against this creature. You think that
Okay.
salt would be good against the paranormal, atmospheric balls with energy, ghosts, geists, specters, banshees, and the various other like incorporeal or semi-corporeals.
Okay.
Not so
How
much.
about the
And I,
holy water?
and you know, just to make sure, I'm going to quickly go to the back of the Suede book, and I'm going to look up zombie. I'm just going to make sure I'm not cheating you because I
All right.
really like this slingshot. These are Walking Dead, typical groaning fiends. They look for fresh meat. Their parry, their toughness, their special abilities. Their bite and claws are strength. They are immune to fear and intimidation. +2 to toughness, +2 to recover from being shaken. No additional damage from called shots. They ignore a point of wound penalties. That means, that's I was telling you, they're hard to put down. They don't breathe. They are immune to disease and poison. For a regular old zombie, a called shot to the head can do extra damage, but I see nothing that says they are, affected as with a bane with salt. So if you want to keep your salt powder dry, there might be another way that might be more effective.
Okay. Instead, then I will use my last square of movement to get on top of this rectangular, uh, stone bed, I guess.
Okay.
And I will. My water gun, maybe my holy water gun, will be of some use here.
Okay. I would like an agility check, straight up, to avoid toppling the canopic urn and making the statues fall over. And it is not an
Sure.
exceptionally sturdy table. I envision one of those like ones with the folding legs, like a banquet table. One of the smaller ones.
Okay. She'll try and just get some high ground.
A force
Or
of success. Perhaps it is sturdier than it looks, or perhaps you are just nimble and small and quick, and
yeah.
small enough to not upset the urn, etc., etc.
All right.
Your target number
Sh-
is 4 with a weapon and a ranged weapon. And I looked this up. This Super Soaker has a 369 range, so a 3 is going to be short range, no penalty.
okay. 3, 6, 9. Good to know. She has a -2 because she doesn't know how to shoot things.
Oh,
Let's
no shooting.
see.
That is unfortunate.
Yep.
Yes.
Ooh, that was really bad. She
The
forgot to pump
you
it.
forgot to pump it. That first spray, and it's like it's a little. You were a little premature in your
she,
shot there.
she got real confident, getting all Terminator on him.
You had it, it raised up. You had
Hasta
your
la
elbow out.
vista, baby.
Now, if you would like to burn a Benny, you certainly may.
I shall, because I actually have a few left here. Let's relive her Terminator moment. Yes? No? No.
You give it 2 pumps. Maybe 2
It
pumps
was
isn't
better.
enough.
It was better, but not quite though.
It's the right idea, but the wrong execution.
Yeah, rip, guys.
Chef, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
I have a quick question just concerning multi-action
Okay.
because I want to cast my protection and then hit. So is that negatives to both?
Yes.
Okay, how much of a negative to both? I just can't remember.
It's -2 to both. All you need to
Okay.
activate the armor spell is a spirit roll, a successful spirit roll. This would be a spirit roll at -2 to affect that
Okay.
armor spell.
Okay. Okay. Pray for me. So it is spirit?
It is spirit at a -2 because of the
Okay.
multi-action penalty.
I just wanted to double check, make sure.
There's no
Okay,
additional
spirit.
minus because it is a very basic spell.
Okay, so that one didn't go through.
It is a failure, but not a critical failure. And as you
And
recall, you pull out that little piece of worn leather with that little bit of wire, that baling wire
mhm.
wrapped around it. Those are the 2 components.
Okay, so I might try that again later, but I'm going to go ahead and try to hit it. So that's another -2, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
His parry is 6, his toughness is 8. A clean miss. This thing is much nimbler than you
And
think.
it's close enough to me that I would realize that it would probably try to swipe at me if I moved, isn't it?
Yes, you think it would get a disengage
Okay.
type of an attack.
What? Oh, okay.
Sophia, you made a vigor roll. It automatically rolled you a vigor roll to no spirit. I'm sorry, Shakespeare, shaken,
Yes.
spirit undoes shaken. The other one is what is it? It's shake for spirit and soak in vinegar. Soak is a vigor roll. So yours is a spirit roll. You passed it. You are no longer shaken.
Yeah,
We are
that
going
one
to
scared me.
we're going to end the session right here after this round is complete What would you like to do?
Well, it's right there in my face.
It
So
is,
might
and
as
it's
well just aim the super soaker right at its head.
okay. Now, you have the rifle one, or do you have the little pistol one?
The rifle.
Okay, I thought Ava had the rifle. Okay,
No,
she
she
had
has the
the
solar pistol.
pistol, which I think is a 1, 2, 3, so that would have been long range, but she missed anyway. You guys have the wrong weapon. You realize she should have had the long range one, and you have the short range one because you're right up at its face. Nevertheless, you can give it a bath, bathe it in that very nice smelling scented holy water. And since you're using a ranged weapon, I'm not going to give you a gang up bonus. I don't think it works that way. If you don't have shooting, then it's going to be
I don't have shooting.
then I
It's a
think it's
distance.
a -2 penalty.
Minus
Mhm.
2.
Your fighting die minus, or your fighting die -2. You don't have fighting, do you?
I do not have fighting.
Then it's an untrained roll -2, which is a D4 -2. But these dice explode, so you could roll a 20 with a D4 if you roll a 4 and another 4 and another 4 and another 4. And you really only have to hit him with a 4 because it is a ranged attack.
What would the damage be again?
Why, you don't really know.
Oh, well,
But you're pretty sure that holy water against this thing, not a bad bet. Not a bad bet.
should
You can do it, friend.
so I don't have anything to roll to hit or damage this thing?
You can roll an untrained D4
Okay.
-2.
Oh, okay.
And you can still get a 4 with that. A 1.
Oh,
I
Um,
can't
no.
I
wait,
can't
Wait.
Benny that, can I?
no. Did you roll untrained off of your character sheet?
Oh, I just rolled a random dice.
You
No.
have
Oh,
unskilled.
Also
here we go. Here we go.
roll a D6
Perf-
for me because
Oh, perfect.
you didn't get your wild die, and hope it doesn't come up a 1 because that would be a critical fail. It is a 4. Now you would take a -2 penalty to that,
Ah,
as it
that's the
There
one.
we
as
go.
it says. So it comes up as 0, but it is not a critical failure. And if
Mhm.
you would like, you can drop a Benny.
I would like. I see dice.
It is a 7. It is -2. It is a 5. You have managed to hit it. Let's see. Demons or undeads contacted by holy water make a spirit roll or be shaken, which is bad for this undead. Very bad for this undead. Let me
Get him. Get
see.
him.
Spirit roll or be shaken. Oh, his spirit's only 6. I'm protesting. He got a 2, but he gets a +2. He still gets that Joker bonus. I would have forgotten that this round. He rolls a
He's got his
4.
Joker.
He succeeds, and he is not
Goodness
shaken.
gracious.
And that is where we are going to end our 4th hour. Next time we play, we will pick up at round 2. We will roll dice or draw cards for initiative, and we will get right back in it. Are the
Oh,
members
boy.
of the class dismissed study group, are they on the right track? Have they done the right thing awakening this undead guardian? Or should they have left well enough alone? What is Ahuva's real purpose in being here? Is she being upfront and honest with the player characters? Or does she have ulterior motives? What is the connection with Dr. Irvin Erwin Ravinowitz, the medical examiner for Pine Box, Texas. Is he involved, or was just happenstance that they found a pen belonging to him or his office? They've got a lot of information that they have found, including a Hoover. They have found 3 articles of like a diary and old records and ledgers and stuff like that.
Mhm.
It would indeed be a shame if the party met their demise down here and this information never saw the light of day. So these questions will probably be answered next session. And knowing this group and their shenanigans and hijinks, more questions will definitely be asked.